Hello beautiful people and welcome back to a very important episode which has a very important topic, the buffing of the mechanical masters in order for them to get a better gaming experience. Now when I say gaming experience, I mean battle gaming experience, but also the reward experience. Because as it is right now, when it comes down to the battle experience of a mechanical master, is literally similar with the experience of the pinball ball, which is definitely not acceptable. And on top of this also, a mechanical master experiences difficulties in obtaining points in order to get some rewards, so he is exactly as active as a combat elite during a battle event, and he definitely helps his server. But once the event ends, not only that he is super dizzy from so much force teleporting, he will also gonna realize he has far too less points, resulting in far lesser rewards. So dear developers, doing nothing about it is also very unacceptable. Therefore this video will gonna show you a set of changes which have to be implemented as soon as possible in order for us to start to give the mechanical masters also a great gaming experience. So towards the community, guys, your support is as always needed. In other words, watch the video till the end and please write in the comments what are your thoughts regarding these ideas I'm going to present you right now. So let's start with what we have right now. So a couple of you guys will remember that we had an open discussion with the developers exactly on this topic, and they almost immediately agreed with us that something has to be done. And then we started to discuss the topic regarding the rewards, the fact that there is a huge difference between the points gaining between the mechanical masters and the combat elites, and we stumbled upon this idea: separate ranks for the mechanical masters and for the combat elites. And we soon have reached an issue in which the developers were expressing their concerns regarding how should the mechanical master actually obtain points during a battle event, because we cannot honestly give them points for building towers because they can take them down, build it again. So we want to avoid exploits. So you understand this is a very important topic, but let's start actually with something even more important when it comes down to the battle experience which a mechanical master has right now, which is also unacceptable and it has to change. And here are the things which must be implemented. But there is also a very important factor which I have to take in consideration, which is the super whales actually changing into mechanical masters, because these are buffs and that would help them even more than being a combat elite. So yes, beautiful people, I am taking this in consideration. So as you know, if you are succeeding to win 3 battles in a row when you are attacking a base, then that base will gonna be force teleported. And of course, we also know that the mechanical masters are weaker than the combat elite, therefore getting force teleported far faster than a combat elite. And this is the way to change it. Now, this should remain the same, at least for the combat elite, of course, but when it comes down to the mechanical master, whenever this player comes on the battlefield, he has his 3 towers, which is the strengthening tower, the weakness towers, and also the urgent care tower. In other words, yeah, you can keep bashing on a mechanical master base and keep burning him down, but till the moment all his towers are no longer on the ground, his base should not be force teleported. So this sounds great, but we are not done yet with buffing the mechanical masters. So the next thing which mechanical masters should definitely gonna get, not just them but also the combat elites, is the reinforcements capacity. Now this value right here, of course, it's up to debate and we have to discuss it, but from my perspective, since the mechanical master has far lesser strength than a combat elite, of course this reinforcements value should be much higher. In other words, what I'm suggesting here, it's at least 1200 units with which combat elites or other players can reinforce this mechanical master which is being attacked, because as of right now we literally have only 190 units, and this is a default value which we have since the game was implemented, which means also, in other words, this is super required to be reworked anyway. So for the mechanical masters, the value should be 1200 units capacity of being reinforced. So that also sounds great, but we are not done yet. So let's approach the next point, which is the repairing factory. And I think due to the fact that the mechanical master is per definition far weaker than a combat elite, I think the repairing factory of the mechanical master has to be far higher. And for this value, I also am requesting your feedback. Now, the number is not necessarily super important. Fact is, it has to be far higher because, again, the units of a mechanical masters are far less dangerous than the units of a combat elite. So that also sounds great, but guess what? I'm still not done yet. Now, the next point may be a bit over the top. I will gonna try my best to suggest it in such a way in which it's not very overpowered. And this has something to do actually with the loot quest and the raiders, yeah? So if you remember, when you are attacking a raider on your server map, you are sending your march, but the battle doesn't instantly happen. It takes a while. So that's exactly what I would like to see on the mechanical master, but this has to be hooked to their CP value. So in other words, the lower the CP value of a mechanical master, the higher this waiting period should be till the battle actually happens. So first of all, the value, which is similar to the values which I have suggested in this video, this should definitely be discussed by us players, which is another reason for you to write that in the comments, but also being thought about it from the developers. So I'm thinking of a maximum value of round about 15 seconds. So what does this exactly mean? If a mechanical master, let's presume it's under 50 CP power, and I want to attack it, it's absolutely obvious that I'm gonna wipe him out. Therefore, I'm sending my march towards his base. My march reaches his base, but then because he is under 50 million CP power, I will gonna have to wait 15 seconds till the actual battle will happen. In other words, I have to commit to this move. And this also gives the mechanical master a small time window in which he can either request his fellow combat elites to send some marches in his base to help him defend himself, or you can also add a flickering effect in which when an opponent march is in a mechanical master's base, then his skin will gonna blink, which will gonna also help the combat elites to actually notice this and send reinforcement in order to help. So dear developers, the way you should implement this is of course hooked to the CP value of the mechanical master base, just like you have that with the transfer tickets. The higher the CP value of a base is, the lower the delay in seconds should be till actually the battle happens, and I would think of a minimum value of at least 5 seconds. So yeah guys, I'm not sure if this last idea is a little bit over the top, but what's definitely worth it is to discuss this idea, and what's also very worth it is for the developers actually to think about this. So these are the suggestions which I'm gonna forward to the developers when it comes down to improving the battle experience of a mechanical master. But now let's jump also in the second topic, which is also super important when it comes down to what are the requirements to obtain rewards in these battle events. And I'm gonna start by adding also the combat elites to this topic, because I have often experienced the case in which your server has to also defend your ruins home, and you do that, you stay home, you send your marches into the buildings, but no opponents will come. Therefore, you are there, you are online, you are even on Discord voice chat, but once the event ends, you have 0 points, and this is also very unacceptable. In other words, my suggestion is not asking River Game to reinvent the wheel, but actually applying something we know from the Titan Canyon. And that is gaining points by having a march in the ruins. Now, of course, we have to implement this in such a way in which you definitely have to have a certain amount of percentage of your maximum march in a building in order to start getting some points. And also, if you are online from the beginning till the end, let's say at least 3/4 of the event, and you are indeed in these buildings, and if the opponents don't come, so you can get some kills, then you should definitely with these points be able to reach the minimum rewards to justify the fact that you were online and helping throughout the whole battle process. But of course, the topic of this video are the mechanical masters and how to improve their gaming experience. So in other words, when it comes down to the mechanical masters, he has 3 towers: the strengthening towers, the weakness towers, and also the urgent care. So my proposition on this topic is the battles which are happening within his facilities, because without him being there, there won't be any facilities on the ground. So I'm suggesting that the mechanical master should get at least 75% of the points which are obtained by the fights happening within his towers. Now here you have to pay attention. I'm not saying that the combat elite which actually done the fighting in there should get only 25%. No, what I'm saying is the combat elite should get 100% his points, but on top of this, the mechanical master has to get at least 75% of that value for him. So dear beautiful people, fellow Top War players, and also dear developers, these are the suggestions which I think we should definitely start to speak about it ASAP, and we can definitely start to implement it as fast as possible. But in the end of this video, allow me to address the Top War community and the developers at the same time with the same sentence, which is stop being lazy. Towards the developers, start listening, think about it and start implementing, because the situation is not acceptable. And towards the community, if you are still playing Top War right now, you literally have no reason not to watch these videos, and you also have no reason why you should not support these ideas. Come in here, give us your feedback in the comments, and stop being lazy. So anyways, beautiful people, thank you very much for watching till the end. I hope a lot of you guys have actually reached this point in the video. Don't forget to support what supports you back, which is this channel since 2022. And as always, yeah, thank you for watching, and don't forget to see me in the next episode. Ciao, guys.